1966, 79 episodes, about 30 good ones. It would be easy to think all of Star Wars Jedi secrets have been gleaned from that galaxy far, far away. But here are some fake ones that slip through. Don't throw a Sith fit if you've fallen for these false Star Wars facts. This often repeated legend that George Lucas wanted to make a grand total of 12 Star Wars movies is mostly based on the misconception that George Lucas was some sort of cinematic prophet who knew from day one that Star Wars would be a hit and that there would be both the means and the demand to continue the franchise for at least a half a century. That all mostly happened, but Lucas had no way of knowing it. The original plan was actually to make one film because that was the rational approach. Make one film, see how it goes. But then the first film was a crazy success, so Lucas decided to turn the story into a trilogy. Beyond that, no one is really sure what was in his head. National Post says he told Mark Hamill back in 1976 that he planned to make 4 trilogies, but after he finished the tragically wretched prequel series, he famously said, "There will definitely be no episodes 7 through 9. I got a bad feeling about this." Even that wasn't the final word though. In the secret history of Star Wars, Lucas is said to have envisioned a sequel trilogy beyond Return of the Jedi, and in The Art of the Last Jedi, the author says Luke's hermit storyline was actually Lucas' idea. So even though Lucas has handed the franchise over to Disney, it's clear that his influence will live on. No matter how many movies are eventually made, everyone knows the real protagonist of Star Wars is Darth Vader. That's made pretty explicitly clear in the prequels, where we follow young Anakin Skywalker on his painfully active journey from young slave and paydresser prodigy to cybernetic Dark Lord. Even if you've never realized that Darth Vader is the anti-hero star of the entire franchise, there's no question the iconic character is surrounded by some pretty rich mythology. We now know all that stuff about Darth Vader falling into lava was totally true, but the mythology behind his name is based on misconceptions. According to In a Galaxy Far, Far Away, Lucas himself said Darth Vader's name came from the Dutch Vader, meaning father. Darth was simply a variation of Darkwit. Makes way more sense than donker, which is the Dutch word for dark. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Anyway, the idea that Darth Vader's name means Dark Father and therefore alludes to Luke's parentage is not very credible when you consider that Lucas didn't decide Darth Vader was actually going to be Luke's dad until the second draft of The Empire Strikes Back. We still don't know though if Lucas actually did pick Vader because it meant father. But if he did, it certainly wasn't a way to hint at the big reveal to come, because Lucas didn't know there was even going to be a big reveal. The Empire Strikes Back opens with Luke getting his ass handed to him by a wampa, which scratches his face, drags him off to its icy lair, and hangs him upside down. Legend says this scene was really just a handy way to explain why Luke's face was all messed up after actor Mark Hamill got into a car accident in January of 1977. The accident damaged his left cheekbone and messed up his nose badly enough that doctors had to repair it with cartilage from his ear. So, his face didn't really look the same in The Empire Strikes Back as it did in A New Hope. But Lucas says the wampa scene wasn't written expressly for the purpose of explaining Luke's injuries. Instead, it was a typical movie-making device. They just wanted to open the film with some suspense. Arto says the chances of survival are 725 to 1. Carrie Fisher remembered that the scene was altered to account for Luke's injuries. But that basically just confirms what Lucas said. The scene was already there, but the face injury was added to help viewers understand the origins of Skywalker scars. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates.